From the studios of KENW on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, it's You Should Know, featuring the people and events of Eastern New Mexico and West Texas.
Thank you for joining us on You Should Know. I'm your host, Evelyn Ledbetter, and my guest today is Caron Powers, and she is the coordinator of the Healthy Kids, Healthy Communities of Roosevelt County. So Caron, thanks for being here. This is fun.
Thanks for having me.
We kind of have a history.
We do. We do. I feel like we're family.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Caron, you actually taught both of my children in second grade.
Yes. I taught second grade for 30 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's a couple days.
It is. It is.
Well, tell us about your background.
Well, I actually came to Eastern New Mexico.
Very nice.
I have a degree in psychology. I have a degree in elementary education. I have a degree in reading, and I have a master's in early childhood.
Well, thank you for your contributions to the university. You put some money in the pockets out here. 4 degrees.
Yes.
I would have never known that.
Yeah.
So which was first?
Psychology.
So you thought you were going that route?
I did. And yes, I thought that's what I wanted to do. And my last semester of my junior year, I decided, maybe I don't want to do this.
Oh.
Maybe I want to. But I did go ahead and finish the psychology degree.
Well.
Yes.
Well, you probably need psychology when you teach.
Exactly.
Not
yes.
With the,
I think it has come in.
Maybe not with the students, but with the parents and the faculty and coworkers. Kind of a handy thing. So second grade. Well, I'm glad you didn't wind up in psychology because we would have missed out so much of not having you in the classroom.
Thank you. Thank you.
How many years did you teach?
I did 30 years. I did 1 year in Texas, and then I did 30 years here in New Mexico before I retired.
I know you had told me that you would know.
Yes.
Like everybody had said, you'll know when it's time to do something a little different.
That's true. I didn't think I would know, but my last year I did know. I knew it was time to retire.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But still young and vibrant, and sitting at home isn't the option.
No.
So how did you come up with this program?
I was approached by somebody at the Department of Health here in Portales, and she asked me if I'd kind of be interested in doing this. And this is an initiative by the Department of Health. They picked out counties that had a childhood obesity high rate. Okay. And unfortunately, Roosevelt County is one of those counties. So they wanted to start a program here. And so my goal is I want to have the kids be physically active and to eat healthy. And those are my only 2 goals. Those are any of the programs or anything that I do, activities that I do with the kids. That's what I wanted to do, is to eat healthy and be physically active.
And this is under the umbrella of the
Department of Health. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I've done this since 2016. I started in January, and no one had ever done this. So I started from scratch.
So build it yourself.
Yes, exactly. Okay. I mean, there were a few programs that were offered that I needed to incorporate with the kids within the schools, but the rest of it I had to build my community partners who would help me, accomplish things. And that's how I started.
Okay. And you said there's 8 programs within the state of New Mexico? Is that what you said?
There are 13 counties that are healthy kid counties. Okay. Yes. So they're all over the state. It's not just the southeast corner either.
So if they do the studies and our stats go down where your program is working.
Right.
Then they may actually give this program to a different county?
I don't think so.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Our numbers are pretty high. I think as of last year in 2022, our kindergartners, we had 31% who were overweight or obese, and our third graders were 42%.
We have a much more sedentary lifestyle.
Yes, exactly.
And our kids are on computers and electronics and things.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving through town back last winter, and it was one of those warm days, and typically the outside would just be filled with kids. And it dawned on me there wasn't a single kiddo out there playing.
Right.
And I thought, so that
Exactly.
means they're inside sitting and not doing
Exactly.
much.
Yes.
So tell
Yes.
me what you did. How did you get it started and off the ground?
Well, I kind of had an advantage since I was a teacher here.
That's true.
So I knew the principals, I knew a lot of the teachers, so I could go in and say, I have this program. Would you be interested in letting me try it out?
Okay.
And it kind of went from there. It just kind of blossomed from there.
And what did you want to do in the schools? Just educational or?
Both. Just kind of doing some physical activities, promoting healthy eating. My main thing is I wanted to start some school gardens since we didn't have any here. And so I started at James Elementary.
Okay. You went back home.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I have to admit, I did not know about gardening. That was something I always wanted to do when I retired, So I had done my research and stuff, but I went and found some mentors. They educated me on, how the soil was here. I didn't know you could have a cold weather planting in March. I didn't know you could do that. There were certain things that you could plant. And so we started at the ground level at James with 6 raised beds.
Okay.
And I had to go out and find funding. I had to go out
and wood and
exactly.
The beds are made out of wood.
Yes.
So
they're 8x4. And so we started with 6. And James had a perfect spot on their playground that was going to be conducive to a garden. And so we started with 6. And so then my next goal was the next year I wanted to add 6 more, so we did.
And this was what grade level were you working with?
First and second.
First and second.
But we only started with 6 and then it went to 12. And then I got into grant writing. And so partnered with the city, partnered with Walmart. And so we have 24 raised beds.
Wow, at James.
At James. And I'm very excited about that because every classroom has their own raised bed.
Oh, that's
even
fun.
the special ed classrooms. So everybody has a bed. And so we have a big planting day where we bring the kids out in groups, we take half the first grade and then the other half. And so we have a little mini science lesson, about composting, about, what do seeds need, how to plant. Then we just let them get on their hands and knees. They get to dig in the dirt. They get to see the size of the seeds. They plant, then they cultivate, they have to water. And then during this time, they're doing, curriculum activities with math and reading.
That's what I was going to say. So many seeds per little spot and the spacing. And so you can incorporate a lot of
they take their little rulers out there,
How fun.
They measure, and they're very engaged. Every time they go out to the playground, they go out and look
check.
at their little raised bed to see if it's, if it's grown or not.
And they probably get pretty competitive.
Yes, they do.
Each class wants to outdo the other one.
we plant lettuce and spinach and radishes and carrots.
Okay.
And so we kind of, watch it through, and then right at the end of school, we go ahead and pick it. They pick theirs.
So you said you plant in March.
Yes.
And then, so those are the root crops that'll grow in the colder weather.
Yes, yes. And so in May, we have, we have tasting day. And what we do is we take, some of them, they each plant different things. So we take samples of all 3 things. So we bring them out there to the playground again. We kind of have a culminating activity, and then they each get to taste.
You haven't been guilty of going to the grocery store and buying the veggies and
believe it or not, we have enough.
It
grows enough after 24 beds. And sometimes we're giving lettuce away. Yeah.
Put me on the list.
Yeah. But it's a neat activity that, we've been doing it kind of the last days of school. And then after that, they get to taste all 3 things. We've even incorporated in the cafeteria sometimes. It just kind of depends on the year and, how much we have and everything.
Even as an adult, it's still fun when you grow something. And
Right.
I've got a little cherry tomato plant, and I just pop one of those in my mouth, and it's just fun. It's like I
It
grew that.
is, yeah.
So for little ones,
It is. And, kids think, it comes from the grocery store or it comes from Walmart. They don't realize the entire process. So it's a good hands-on learning activity.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And if you can get those habits and you can teach them, they can do that. Even if, whereas we started out, most people had a spot of land.
Mm-hmm.
You may
Right.
not. You have now a lot of people in apartments and things. They don't have any ground, but you can
Right.
do the planter type gardens or
Yes,
the raised
exactly.
bed gardens if
Mhm,
they've got a little
mhm.
flower bed.
Right,
So,
right.
and then what else? So what else schools? Do you do other area schools?
Yes, I serve all of Roosevelt County, so
Wow.
I go into Elida and Floyd and Dora also.
And do the gardens there.
I have one in Elida, and we did theirs a little bit different because they didn't. I really honestly didn't have the funding for raised beds.
Okay.
So the red tubs that you see all over for the
Right.
ranchers. So we had a container garden. We call it a mini garden.
Okay.
And so, and they did the very same thing. They come and then they harvest it and they serve it in their cafeteria.
How fun is that?
It is. It really is. I have precious pictures of kids tasting, all of the different things.
Okay, so that's at Elida, and then
It's
you
in
said what
Elida.
other schools?
Just at Elida and James so far.
Okay, but
So
you
far.
go into the schools in some capacity of education, or
Yes, yes. And like, for example, in all of the kindergarten classes, we have fruit and vegetable tastings just to give them exposure. And we do different vegetables. I have to say the favorite thing to taste is jicama. They love jicama, and most of them have never, ever had it.
Well, to be
So-
honest, I haven't ever
Yeah.
tasted it, so I guess maybe I should show up at a tasting day and do that.
And then all the second graders, and when I say all the second graders, I mean Floyd, Elida, Dora, Portales. I do a program called Rethink Your Drink. So we encourage to drink more H2O, more water, and not the sweet drinks.
Mhm.
And we show them how to infuse water, with different citrus fruits and berries and that kind of thing. In third grade, I have a program called 5210, and that is a 21-day challenge that they do at home. And so 5 stands for they eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables.
Daily.
2 is for 2 hours or less of screen time at home, not at school,
Right.
but at home. 1 is 1 hour of physical activity, and O is for H2O. So if they complete this 21-day, we call it a challenge. If they complete this, and we're hoping that these habits, stick. Yeah, they were looking for sustainability. Then they earn a medal. And so we have an award assembly, and they have a medal. And then in 4th grade, I do a program called Eat Smart to Play Hard.
Okay.
This is a 4-week program, and this is a at-home program with families where they take, they've got a book that they take home, and one aspect of it is they cook a recipe with their family.
Oh,
We
great.
hope that they, it's like a brilliant banana shake is the first thing that they do. And then they also there's a physical activity that they can do with their family.
This would be, when you talk about this for kids, but that would be a pretty good formula, the 5210 for adults as well.
Oh, yes, yes. And so the Eat Smart to Play Hard, it's only 4 weeks, and they completely do that at home. So they just have to do those 2 things every week. But when they complete that, then I have a medal for that also. And I've also gone in the classroom, and done, I'm kind of at their disposal if they want me to come and talk to them about, planting or have a tasting or anything like that, then I'm open to do that.
So this is a full-time position.
Yes.
Obviously,
Yes.
It's not just part-time.
No.
From what I find, eating healthy is expensive.
Exactly.
So when you said 5 fruits and veggies a day, that's expensive.
Right.
Okay.
But, they're at school, so
Right.
hopefully they're
Okay.
getting at least 1 at breakfast. They're getting at least 2 or 3 at lunch. So they just have to do, And lots of times the kids will say that. They'll say, well, I don't have any bananas at home, and it's like, well, use what you have.
Sure.
The same thing. When we do the Rethink Your Drink program, I provide them an infusion bottle, so they are so excited to go home and try it.
And get that.
And yeah, it's funny. I have had people who have, because I've done this, since 2016. Like I had a grandma come to me and she said, after school when I picked them up, we would go get a Slurpee or whatever, and she says, and now we have to have infused water, and it's like, okay,
well, good, it's working.
Yeah.
Well, those habits do stick,
right.
And if you grew up doing those things, I think that's easier to. Those habits are hard to break.
Yes.
But
and a lot of kids haven't been exposed to that.
They have not.
They really haven't.
And it's kind of interesting. The kids, they learn a lot more of what they see than what they're told.
Yes.
But when they're doing that, they may be helping the parents out quite a lot on that as well.
And I have lots of positive comments about the recipes. They're simple enough that they don't have to go out and buy a lot of ingredients, But it's there again, we're emphasizing the healthy eating.
Well, and I mean, I know New Mexico has the WIC program of women, infant, and children, and that healthy eating is part of that. And, and is a good program. And they have that for seniors as well on some of the farmers markets. And that is, I see you all through the community. So I see you out taking pictures and doing things. Tell me what all that's about.
Well, I go to the farmers market every week and take pictures, promote that on I have a Facebook page.
Okay.
Healthy Kids, Healthy Communities, Roosevelt County. And so I promote that every week and I share it with different other pages, just to remind people that it's there. Just to say, this is going on, these are the times, these are the days. I am also making sure that, like the city trail, I've worked with the city. They have a Clean and Beautiful grant that they include James Garden, and so they help with the funding for that. In fact, one of the recent additions to the garden is we have a discovery corner. So we took a corner of the garden. We have tables, picnic tables and whiteboard and all that kind of stuff so they can go have school out in the garden.
Oh.
Yeah.
And get them outside.
Exactly.
We used to do that when I was a kid, and you were so excited to get to go and sit under a tree and read or just get out of that classroom and move a little bit.
So they've been a great community partner. I have a lot of community partners that I just go and beg and borrow and ask for knowledge and, all of that. But yes.
So the information, was it more individuals or some of the businesses in town, the nurseries and different things?
Everything.
Everywhere.
When I needed wood, Herbert Lumber discounted for me. Wood's expensive now.
It is. It is.
When I didn't know about the exact kind of soil that I needed, Kurt Janes at Garden Source, he's a great community partner. In fact, he comes for planning day with the kids. Cool. He brings his workers out there, and they get a kick out of it. Well,
he's been on this show, and,
yes,
and it's I'm an avid gardener and landscaper, and so we can talk for hours. But he's very knowledgeable.
Yes, he is.
Lots of information,
he is. And he was willing to help me. Because I just said, okay, I need help. I need to know, what to do. So. And one thing that I'm really excited about, this has been my goal from the beginning, is to get a garden at Brown Early Childhood Center.
Get those kids started. What age group is that?
That's preschool and kindergarten.
Is that 4 and 5-year-old?
Yes.
4-year-olds that start there?
Yes.
And a lot of areas in the state and other states have those same the preschool programs as well.
Right. And so that's all I've been wanting to try to do that, and it's just it's just like finding the correct funding, and and so I approached the principal and said, what do you think about kindergarten? And we were going to do the container gardens again. I have a local rancher who saves those buckets for me, you know.
Well, I think the syrup comes in them, cattle syrup or something is actually what comes in them. I have a couple of those laying around.
And well, they're great planters, you know.
They
All
are.
you got to do is drill the hole in the bottom and get the right kind of soil, and they grow beautifully.
You could probably teach us adults a lot on this as well.
So, so I, you know, started with kind of the conversation, and you know, she was on board. Well, you know, she approached her teachers. Well, the preschool teachers wanted to do it too. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, the more the merrier. So we're going to have 24.
How
You
many
know,
kiddos do you think are in your program each year? Do you have an estimate?
you know, no, I don't. I mean, I know exactly how much is at each school, you know, but you know, I really don't know how
And you've
many.
done this, you said, since
2016.
2016.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
this is what you're
Yeah.
going into your seventh?
And I've done it
Seventh year?
long enough that the kindergartners remember me in second grade, and the second graders and the third graders remember me in the fourth. You know, what are we going to do this year? You know, and for a while I was Mrs. H2O. I don't know
that's
how
cute.
that started.
That's cute. That's cute. Well, you've always done well with this. I remember in second grade we hatched out chicks,
Yes.
and that was a
Yes.
huge thing.
It was.
Have the
Yeah.
incubators and watch, and again you see where that animal came from.
Exactly.
But
You know, that's interesting when, you know, after I retired and I would get graduation announcements from, you know, students. And, you know, I would always send them something, and then they would always send me a thank you. And most of the time it was, I remember hatching chicks,
Isn't that
you know,
funny?
so that hands-on. So I'm hoping that the garden
That's what I
thing
was
is the
going to
same
say.
thing.
I can remember taking like a little bean plant home with me when I was a kid that we would grow in like our milk cartons.
Right.
I don't even think they have
Exactly.
milk cartons anymore, but hard to do in those little plastic bags. But yeah, that was exciting. And I
Right.
still remember
Yeah.
that. What about the exercise component of the movement? Do you just
Well, I promote, and like I say, I promote, and you know, lots of times the schools are already, you know, doing something, but I promote, like, you know, at one school they have walking Wednesdays, where every morning on Wednesday they start out with the walk around
I
the
bet they
school.
love that too.
Yes, yes. And then, like during 5210 or Eat Smart to Play Hard, the PE teachers do kind of
Get
a,
them on board.
you know, a walking program.
Mhm.
And then one of the things that I have kind of incorporated all the schools, it's an international walk and roll around the school. And that's coming up. That's next Wednesday. And that's where schools all over the United States and now internationally, they do it too, about, you know, having safe routes to school. And so, you know, if they walk to school, you know, making sure that they have a safe route. Well, you know, in Portales and Dora and Eli, you know, we're a rural, so I've kind of changed that to walk around the school.
Because
And
most people don't walk to school anymore.
They don't. They really don't.
No.
And so this works out because we just have a day where I go and, you know, the kids are doing laps around, you know, the track, or they're walking around the gym, they're doing laps or whatever. And then, you know, I take lots of pictures. So even little bitty Portales and Elida and Floyd have, you know, exposure on these international days.
Well, and I mean, for us as kids, the opportunity to get out of that
Oh
class
yeah,
and
they
be
love
outside
it.
and be
Yeah,
active was
they're
huge.
excited. Yeah.
Maybe you should get them to start those programs at work.
Yeah.
And we could have healthier adults
There
that
you
are
go. There you
off
go.
of our backsides and moving and
Right.
and eating healthier as well.
And another thing that I did was, you know, there's not an information, like if somebody moves here to this area, you know, where you can walk. You know,
Okay.
I mean, we know what track we can go to or whatever. So I made a walking opportunities around, you know, around Roosevelt County. And so I went and, you know, walked the track and walked the city trail and walked the Oasis Trail.
Tried
and
it out.
you know, and I know exactly, you know, what the mileage is on each
Okay.
one. And I made a booklet.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I got that printed up. And so that's like, you know, that's shared with the Chamber of Commerce for, you know, like when Canon
Okay.
people come in or anybody who moves into the community. And I'm happy to say we just had our a revised second edition, and we added the bike trail,
Great.
that we have here right by the
Okay.
campus.
Well, we're winding down. We have a little less than a minute, but
Okay.
I know that there may be other areas in the state that don't have the funding, but they may be interested in getting a program going. So go to that Facebook page and look at that.
Yes, yes,
Well,
I'm always available.
Karen, thank you so much. Great information, getting people healthier and
Uh-huh.
really informative. So,
Thank you for having me.
and great to see you.
It's great to see you.
And to all of you guys out there, thank you for watching. We will see you next time on You Should Know. Cheers.